just been like consistent, like 10K above months.
Downloaded it, I checked the date, July of 2021, and then I left my job in September of 2021.
Since then, I've sold websites, I've pivoted my business, I'm no longer doing social media management.
What has been like your highest month?
13K.
It has literally changed my life.
When you were designing on WordPress, were you charging way less? Like, what is that like?
Yeah, way less. I think my first WordPress was like $500.
$500 for a WordPress site versus like up to $5,000 for a show it site.
Welcome back to an amazing Wealthy Web Designer interview. My name is Willow, and I figured on the last one, I actually didn't give an intro, but my name is Willow. I am Becca's husband. I'm also the CMO here at Wealthy Web Designer, and today I have a very, very special student of ours, Miss Maria. Welcome to the interview.
Thank you. So my name is Maria, and I am with Mars Connect Studio, and I'm so excited to be here.
Yay. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for doing this with us. I am curious. Let's kind of just start from the beginning. What has been your journey into web design?
So I'll go back a little bit, so kind of it makes sense where
Please.
I got into it. Sometimes these are just long stories, but it kind of give you context and why I
Yeah.
believe a certain thing we do. So when the recession hit in the beginning, like last recession, everything was going well. My husband had a great job. We had a nice house and all of that. And the whole company shut down right before Thanksgiving.
Wow.
And they gave us like literally, like no time. And just like all that was done. And at that time, I
Yeah.
was working in the bank. Didn't even realize that I need to go back to school or I need to have a high paying job or something like that. So that kind of like added to this notion that even if you have a full-time job, you need to have other streams of income that can help in like, phases like these in life because they can come, right?
Yeah.
So we kind of like went along for a while and everything was good. And then we lost our house.
Wow.
So after 1 year of, like drawing through the savings, 401ks, it was done. So that's why I went back to school, started my job in IT,
Okay.
got to a point, that everything was good. And then I was introduced to Becca. So I was like,
Wow.
I needed to do this. This was something that was so lucrative to me because
Yeah.
I'm like a creative at heart. And this kind of spoke to me in a way that nothing else did.
Wow. That's incredible. And when did you find Becca?
I think it was in November of last year.
Oh, okay. So not even that long ago.
Yes, yes.
Wow. Okay. And so then I feel like also just to note, like coming in with an IT background is incredible. I always like to like just mention because I feel like a lot of people come into web design and don't think that maybe their past careers or past work experience is applicable to something that might feel so different. I'm
Mhm.
curious, coming from IT, now doing the more creative side of things, do any of those skills kind of transfer over or the things that you've been taught in that world?
So in IT, I'm a program manager, dealing with $1 million contracts, but we were never on the creative side of things.
Mm,
Like developers get to do, right? They are
yeah,
able to code and do things. And so it was very like interesting that, I could do this,
yeah,
learning coding and
right.
able to create something that I couldn't do before.
Wow.
So I think in IT, it is more like it's a skill set that's looked at as, something very specific, and there's specific people for that. The dev team completely deals with that on this end. So
Yep.
there's no input from us as,
Yeah.
managers. But yeah, so that kind of like made me think that, now that I enjoy it so much, now I
Yeah.
can see what they're doing and how they're
Yeah.
doing it and building it. It
I
makes more
love that.
sense.
I
Yes.
love that. So, kind of bring us to now. You're working with clients. I see that you have taken CEO of Show It, Wealthy Web Designer, Design Your Day Rate, Passive Passion Project, and the library.
Yes, all of them.
All of them. What have been your favorites of those? Or
I
any highlights, I guess, of going through all of them?
Yeah, but my favorite is design your day rate. I'll tell you
Okay.
that. Yes, that is one thing that I think is packed with so much value.
Mm,
But I think learning from CEO of Show It was
mm,
absolutely necessary.
yeah.
because you cannot go past, you cannot go to Wealthy Web Designer. You cannot just start using the library. You cannot just start doing things if you don't know the basics.
100%. It's the one program that teaches the skill rather than like the
Yes.
application or business side of things. And you're so right. So what do things look like now in your web design business? Are you working with clients? What kind of people are you working with? And how is it going?
So I in the beginning I had to like pitch my stuff to just anyone and everyone
Uh-huh.
because I didn't know how to approach people. So I would do just free mock-ups for like
Uh-huh.
local businesses and would just like show it to them and make a little video and say, this is what
Yeah.
I've done for your, would you like to hire me? And they hired me. So I
Hmm.
was like, okay, this is working. So then I took that work to an influencer that I really, like appreciated, Steffi Chen. And I said, I did this mock-up for you. I would love to work
Yeah.
with you. So can we
Wow.
do this? And she just jumped on it. She was like, I absolutely love it. I would love to, do this. And
Yeah.
I think that started the entire like one after the other. And now there's consistency in clients, which I didn't realize it would be because at that point you feel like I don't know if it's going to take off like it did for other people.
Yeah.
You have those slumps, but
Yep. So what was it like once you finally got that kind of like, let's call them like a rock star client? What did you do to leverage that? What did you do to like try and build off of that or build that momentum?
so that first site that I did, it took me weeks to
Okay.
kind of get to a point where I was comfortable even doing those things on a daily basis. I took her site and I would, after we launched, she was very kind enough to, talk to her friends. So I had some other people reach out to me and we started doing these discovery calls. And during that, you realize how much of that wealthy web designer comes into play because I was using the branding questionnaire, I was using the all the PDFs that are in that because we don't know how to run a business like that.
Yeah.
And Becca and you have, created this ecosystem where it's like easy to just like go from step to step, one after the other. And that's how I started to build a pipeline. And
Mm,
then it got so busy, because I was doing full-time work, I couldn't,
yeah.
everything by myself. So I actually, she's also part of Circle.
Mm,
So me and my team member, we kind of like joined forces and
cool.
started, doing this together.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's like a huge help.
Wow. So what does she help you with?
She was coming with a little bit more of a graphic design
Okay.
background. She knew more about web designing a little bit more. And, just like some people are just more, they just know stuff a little bit
Yeah.
more than you do because you're just starting out. So I learned a lot from her. And then I learned a lot from some of the other creatives. Bailey is another one that I
Hmm.
absolutely love. So there are so many people that you find along the way who are kind of
Yeah.
willing to lend a hand. And it's amazing.
I love that. And I love that this is kind of where the conversation has brought us. I'm curious your perspective on the idea of community versus or and competition.
Uh, it's a tricky thing,
Mhm.
right? Because I think there's so many people they love to, like help you
Yep.
and you want that support and sometimes you're stuck at this little small thing and then
Yeah.
person would jump in and say, "Hey, just do this," and it will
Yeah.
help you. But then on the same side, there are people that will copy everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
And you must have gone through it. You guys are
Oh, yeah.
like again and again and again. But they're few and far between.
Yeah.
So
I feel
I
like the community can feel very strong at times. And
Mhm.
it's funny because I always think of this analogy that's so funny to bring up, but that a couples therapist that actually told Becca and I one time of that one negative outweighs five positives. And it's so true in so many aspects of things, but one of which is also the idea of people copying us or the people that are kind of just like, let's call them bad apples in the bunch, right? And man, they really do sometimes outweigh all of the positive inside the community because I feel like from my perspective, there are so many people that are good at something and that also struggle with another thing, and that there's so much overlap to actually be able to help each other. There's
Right.
so many people that are incredible at getting clients and showing up on socials. There's also a ton of people that are incredible at delivering design. Then there's people that are good at
Exactly.
project managing, there's good people at logos, there's good people at branding. And I don't think that you need to be good at everything. And I think that it actually comes at a point of realizing we can't be good at everything and we actually do need a little bit of help.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. And I think it kind of keeps you going as well. You know, those 3 a.m. crash outs that you have
Yeah.
in the beginning, I think it kind of like you need that nudge. You need that
Yeah.
from someone to say, you got this. You know what? It's just a little small tweak. And you know, this is why I kind of like the courses that Becca has and you have. They're bite-sized small information. So anytime I'm stuck at something, I would just go to the exact paragraph
Yeah.
or, you know, like PDF where it's been, you know, so it was just so easy to kind of like go over that hump,
Yeah. You
learn.
really work to try and make it digestible because we have
Right.
been in so many classes and workshops and things like that that there's almost so much being given that it's hard to take action with it. And
Correct.
that's almost the worst place to be in because then you're excited with everything that you just learned and are like, you're like buzzing of what do I do?
I know.
So walk me through. I had read in your questionnaire that your first site was $700 and that you just did a proposal for one that's $10,000. What
Yes.
has that journey been like?
I can't believe that it's been only 10 months.
Mm,
You know, that it was able to scale so quickly because some months in the beginning were 0 months, right? You don't get anything. And then that 700 site was contracting
yeah,
that, you know, that I found out. And I was just like, you know, I kind of pitched myself to them. But that gave you the confidence when you start to show your work and when you start to show the transformation that you can bring to someone's business
yeah.
because having a business is so like such a, you know, their own thing. They're so attached to it. So when they see that you are as dedicated to their stuff as they
Mm,
to that, that helped me scale a lot quickly.
yes.
And in the beginning, of course, a lot of imposter syndrome. I was like,
Hmm.
I don't know if I can charge, you know, even 1,000. I don't know if I can charge even 2,000. And then
Yeah.
started to increase it, and then went to 3,200. Now most of the sites are going for 3,200. And then boom, we got this project.
Wow.
And I was just like, I was just talking to my teammate just the other day. I was like, because we did a mock-up for this, it's a huge company and it's going to open doors for a lot more other stuff in the Middle East.
Amazing.
So if that happens, you know, it's just gonna really be a good thing for the whole
Yeah.
team.
I feel like what you said a minute ago is so true, especially I'm curious what your perspective will be actually after working with this big brand, because I work with a lot of solopreneurs and small teams, and a lot of our students do as well. And what you said is so spot on of that they, like, especially in the smaller business solopreneur route, their business is literally one of, if not their baby. And for
Correct.
them to trust somebody else to, it's not even like watch their baby, it's like help raise their baby. They
Exactly.
have to feel like you are almost more in it than they are. And I
Yes.
feel like that's like in Wealthy Web Designer, we talk about how it's helpful to close people in DMs on a voice note because you can
Hmm.
really express yourself of how excited, how honored you are, and how invested you are in helping this business grow. And I think that that is so true because when you are on the other side and you're the client, and you're messaging with somebody or you're filling out something and it doesn't feel like they're all the way there, you can
Yes.
hand over your baby
You
to
can
this
tell, you can just
person.
tell. You're like, I can't work with that. The
Yes.
same goes for us, Willow. I
Mm,
feel like I can't work with just anyone now.
yeah. So what do you look for now when you're looking for a client? Like what's a
We
perfect client?
have to match the same level of urgency.
Okay.
Yeah, because I kind of feel like, look, time for me is very precious right now
Yeah.
because I do a 9 to 5. And since, you know, some of the changes, we have to go in person to the office.
Hmm.
Before it was remote work and we were able to handle it. But now I'm doing discovery calls in lunch hours. I'm doing
Wow.
like sometimes, you know, like after work, you know, late night work and all that. So if the client is not as dedicated as I am in their stuff, then I feel like I don't want to work with that kind of.
I
And thank
love that.
God, after I think it was just one person that I felt that way. Most of the people are very engaged. They're very collaborative. They're in it as much as I am. So,
I love that. And that's honestly so true. I feel like that perspective comes from the maturity of doing it a couple times. And I think that at the beginning, that is still true, but we would have such a hard time articulating that that's what we want. And I
yeah.
think a lot of people that are listening to this or that are in those beginning stages actually face that as a pretty big challenge with one of their first clients, of that they, as the designer, are ready to go and we're
Mhm.
waiting on photos or we're waiting on a login or we're waiting on copy or something like that to the point where it feels like it's actually dragging us down from moving forward.
Right.
That is big. I'm
Mhm.
curious if you actually have any tips for people that might be listening that are dealing with clients that aren't really matching their level of either urgency or prioritization.
I scan them out in my DMs
Mm,
very quickly. I'm like, I can tell if somebody is in it or somebody's not in it. Like you said,
mm,
voice notes. So I would just like exchange a couple of voice notes. And if the responses are coming so like, I'm not sure if I want to do this or I'm not sure. So I would like say, okay, you know what? Whenever you're ready, come back and we'll do it.
yeah. It's like the
And second,
decisiveness.
yeah, the
Yeah.
decisiveness of it. Like how cool it is to, just match the same vibe because then you know what happens then? And this is what, I would like to, talk to people who are in this journey. It is so easy to work with people who are ready to go and
Hmm.
are on the same level of your vibe because I have given creative direction to clients. I have even like people have even like everybody, all of my clients would even ask me what to wear for a photo shoot. They are sending me pictures from the stores where they're shopping,
Yeah.
and I've even like taken care of photographers, like to arrange that because there was somebody in New York, and we just like did everything for them.
Yeah.
So they are so easy to, just because they are as dedicated as you are. And when the end result comes, the site looks amazing.
Yeah. I feel
Yeah.
like one of the big things there is that you're finding clients that actually are hiring you for you to be the expert in this situation.
Yes.
That
Mhm.
is such a big shift because sometimes, like, let's say you actually you're scanning through your DMs and you close somebody that you can tell isn't going to be great. They're going to
Yeah.
take a long time, but you're like, I need to make the money and I'm going to close them. They actually commonly will bring you down from being able to get more clients in the future. And the efficiency is very, very true because when you hire a client and you onboard them, you want them to trust your opinion. Like when they're sending you photos at a store or they want your help finding a photographer, you want to help them because you are guiding them through this experience. And I
Exactly.
think that the piece of the marketing brain of mine is also thinking, especially when I compare it to Becca, that when that shift actually happens and they really start to trust you to the point where they are saying, I want a website, tell me what to do, tell me what I need to do, and then handle it. It
Yeah.
actually becomes so much easier for you to create and produce because the confines or the walls that you're needing to be creative in kind of
Right.
fall. It becomes this is your game that you're playing. And
Absolutely.
the other side of it is that when you deliver that site and they really trusted you, and then the photos look good, and the creative direction looks good, and the website looks good, it gets you more clients in the future because what you're showing, it literally is better.
Definitely. 100%. I absolutely agree with that because it's an entire process. And I think
Yeah.
if you just take it from that point on where people start trusting you with your ideas, and you know what I think there was something you said in one of the interviews that I was listening to. You said something like you're curating an image of this client.
Yeah.
And if you do it the right way, you have won not just their heart, but you are getting constant referrals from that same
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
So that is a major win for, I think, any designer when
A
people come back to you.
100%.
Because frankly, I mean, money is good. I love that, of course. Everybody loves it.
Yep.
But I think after a while, it's a secondary thing,
Hmm.
right? You kind of want to have that kind of relationship where people feel like they trust you with their most precious thing and you're able to change their lives because of that.
Yeah. I mean, 100%. I think that that's what being in business is all about. And being a web designer, in a lot of ways, you are in this business to business support role.
Mm-hmm.
Your business exists to help other businesses succeed.
Correct. Yep.
And like even I can think of, obviously not knowing anything about what you do in IT, talking about $1 million contracts, I bet that there is a feeling of fulfillment when you produce that or your dev team is producing that. And
Yeah.
it's at the end, like a lot of stuff got done and some lives are going to be changed, whether it's making more money or a new product or a new something, it is
Right.
actually making an impact.
Right.
And I think that
Making an
in web
impact.
design,
Yep.
huge, yeah.
Yeah.
In web design, I think a lot of people don't necessarily realize that becoming a web designer is actually becoming an impact maker in businesses.
Yes,
It's huge.
absolutely. Yeah. Oh my God, yes. I agree with you so much because I didn't think about it like that.
Right,
When I first started, I was like, oh, okay, I can put some stuff together, I can do this.
right,
But when you start doing it, and when you start seeing the happiness and the sales that they are getting or the
right.
people that they're showing it to, this one girl like was like, I showed it to my mom, and my mom was so proud of me.
Mm,
And it just made me so happy. This is a little, she's not a little girl, she's a grown woman.
right.
She was just so happy to get her mom's approval on it.
Yeah,
But, I'm making something of myself. I'm putting this business together and I
yeah.
have this beautiful website to show for it.
Hmm.
That's where you realize that you're not just creating this, you're
Yeah.
creating something bigger than
A
that.
100%. And then to hear maybe that like you work on a website and then they launch something or they rebrand or they start doing something new and then you hear that it works. And
Hmm.
it's like, wow, that's a part of me too. And I think
Exactly.
that that's the coolest thing.
Oh,
I'm curious if you have any tips for people that are in the kind of really beginner phase where they're doing their research. Maybe they are still in their 9 to 5, or they are even maybe trying other side hustles and things like that. What would be a couple of tips for them based off of your experience?
so first thing I would say, don't hesitate to market yourself.
Hmm.
You will be a little embarrassed because I remember going after this contractor didn't respond to me for the first three times I reached out,
Yep.
and I just walked into the store. I was like, I did this. I mean, you
Yeah.
like it, right? I mean, I know
Yeah.
you like it. So
Yeah.
don't be embarrassed to do these things for people that you want to work with.
Okay.
In the beginning, I thought that I wouldn't work with, like influencers or stuff, and I would do it for, just like local businesses
Yep.
and all that. But, so that is one. The second thing I would say that social media plays a huge role. And I think what Becca just, I think she launched another course
Yep.
regarding social media because I think it really kind of like widens your net, like having a call in Ireland and having a call in London today. Like I could never, your world becomes so small. And then this project in, um, Saudi, I mean, are you serious? I didn't even
Yeah.
think that this could happen.
Yeah.
So,
Social media truly, it doesn't have to be how you find clients, but it does allow you to reach just such a wider net.
yeah,
And also, if you're thinking about the impact you can have, it does give you the ability to impact a lot of people.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think the courses really kind of jumpstart a lot of that. But the more you kind of do it hands-on and you get into it and you start to see these small, like things that can really push you forward, you realize that this is something that, women should really, really think about getting.
Mm. I feel like
I,
that touches on the side of what happens on this journey that isn't even really related to web design.
yeah.
But it's like the personal development that I think it's so interesting to think about how you can invest into a course, but
Mm.
really you're investing into yourself and committing to yourself that you are going to focus on your personal
Yes.
development,
Yes.
professional development, whatever it may be.
Right.
And it's so fascinating to look back at when you make a purchase of some online program,
Yeah.
what actually changes in you over the next, couple months or year or whatever it is, or years, decades to come.
Yeah.
What changes inside of you when it comes to like the confidence or the ability to set boundaries or the ability to say no to a client that's asking you to work together because you know it's not going to be a good fit? That is all some real big, like personal growth that comes from, I would think, just being an entrepreneur.
Yes, it's a development on steroids.
It absolutely is.
It's
100%.
like you learn so quickly, you fall so quickly, you get up, and then you just feel like, oh, I really do it?
Yeah,
So
100%.
yeah.
Well, my last question for you is where are you hoping to take all of this? What is the goal with doing web design? Is it to leave the 9 to 5? Is it to build a side income? Is it to transition into other things? Where do you see your vision?
So ideal would be yes to just do completely all in,
Okay.
something that is like consistent. But I have to see a little bit more consistency in growth because right now we have like a lot of stuff coming to us, and it's getting a lot busier. But sometimes I still question, because I want to match the salary that I am currently making at my current
Yep.
job. So that is one. And then secondly, I feel like even if I can't leave, because I love my 9 to 5, but I enjoy it. It's something that I've been doing it for a while and I enjoy it. But even if I don't, this is something that's very easily scalable as a
Mhm.
side hustle.
Yeah.
Because you can have, like I want to launch a design day, right? I can do it on a Saturday, maybe 4 Saturdays, maybe, like if I'm really aggressive, I can do that.
Yeah.
Some people are doing it every day. Maybe I don't want to do it every day. Maybe I
Yeah.
just want to do it like so I can do even that part of it. And then
Hmm.
on top of that, if you have good people to work with who know your design sense, and in the end, it is all about that, Willow. Like your aesthetic is the one that is going to create a certain thing. No amount
Hmm.
of like you can copy paste from anywhere, but in the end, that's your sense of design that is going to create that product.
So true.
So if you have good people, if you have a good backing of that, you can definitely run it on its own as well. So
Hmm.
absolutely.
I love that. Well, congratulations to you and all of the amazing growth and even just like being on this journey because I can tell that you are new into it, but it's clearly working. And so it's really fun to watch you and to see you on Instagram. And I also will say that as somebody who we've messaged on Instagram, I can feel the pace that you're talking about, and I
Yeah.
really appreciate that.
Thank
I
you.
like that, and I think that it stands out in a place where a lot of us are kind of all over the place, or our minds are kind of just buzzing with so much going on. I think that the consistency and the kind of even just willingness to persevere through maybe somebody not responding to you right away or things like that, it
Yeah.
truly does do wonders. So I hope that you know, Becca and I are incredibly proud of you and what you're doing, and even just what you're showing other people and other women because the journey that you're on is very, very powerful.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your kind words and thank you for creating this platform for us to learn and literally anybody with like zero design skills can start at a point where they can pick up the pieces and
Yeah,
get to absolutely stunning websites. So
100%.
great. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for being here. And so for everybody who's listening, I'm sure a lot of people are like, okay, 700 to 10,000, working a 9 to 5, all of these things. I'm sure a lot of people are going to want to connect with you. Where can people find you on social media or your website?
So my handle is mars.connect, and
Amazing.
I will send you my website as well.
Perfect.
It's yeah, please, reach out and if I can help you with anything and if we can connect and share ideas and maybe we can work together in
A
future.
100%. Well, I'll link your website, your socials, and all of the things below in the video. But thank you so much for doing this with us.
Thank you so much. Say hi to Becca. It was great to meet you.
Absolutely. So nice to meet you.